So I did the Draw Me Girl. You've seen the Draw Me Girl in the newspapers, and if you can draw it beautifully and win a free art contest. So I said, I'm gonna try to win this free art contest. So I drew the Draw Me Girl and sent it in to Minneapolis. And I didn't win the contest. I didn't win a scholarship, of course. But I certainly got a salesman to come to my door about a month later, and he said, you have tremendous talent, blah, 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 and all that stuff. You need to enroll into this art course. And then, yeah, I needed $25. And I went to Mom and I said, Mom, I need $25. I want to sign up for this art course. No, son, he's just telling you all kinds of things that you want to hear. I just don't believe you ought to do that. They really wanted me to be a farmer, because my dad was a farmer and had all the equipment and everything else I was going to take over after he retired. But I didn't want to be a farmer, I wanted to be an artist. Big tube of work. I put all those that I'm going to be working with right close by. When I start with the painting, I start with the layout. The important thing in art is, just like anything else, writing or music, you have to find your emphasis. So my emphasis, actually, this is my star right here. This is my subordinate. And I got a job and started paying my own way through, and it was a great course, and I'd advise a lot of people to do the same thing I did. It didn't hurt me at all. When you have to study at home, you more likely will research everything that they tell you. You know, how is that done? What is that term? I wonder what they mean by that. And so you learn a lot of things on your own that you don't have a teacher saying, what was that I'm doing? What is that? So I finished the course in 1953, and Pat and I got married in 1953, and that was the beginning of it. Started doing artwork for the local newspaper, mostly headlines and pictorials and stuff like that in black and white, and I'd do them in ink. And I even did every Thursday I did a 2-page spread in the local paper for a supermarket in Franklin, and what I had to do was draw, if they said a sack of sugar so much, I had to draw that sack of sugar. I mean, I had no little things to copy off of. I had to freelance everything. I had to buy a sack of sugar, put it in front of me and draw it. So that's where I think I got better at it, because I had to do things that I'd never done before. And it was pressure because I knew every Thursday I'd have to do that double-page spread for this local supermarket. What I used to do was, even as a kid, I'd take clay, and it wasn't clay that you buy in a market. I mean, it's clay that came out of a bottom of a canal or whatever. It was sort of tan looking and a little reddish looking, so I started fiddling around with that and playing with it and trying to sculpt something. Not anything seriously. So I came to Lake Charles and then found a source for clay. My neighbor got some. She's a dentist's wife, and she said, maybe you'd like to play with this. So I started playing, and I started deciding that I want to do Richard Nixon. He was the president then. So I started playing with this clay and rounded off a head. The shoulders would be here, and so forth and so on, and started playing. And I'll tell you, he looks like Nixon. So I would let it dry, and it got very hard just letting it dry like that. So I started buying some clay from a source here in Lake Charles and started doing small clay. And a priest came to where Pat was working, and he said, what is Elton doing now? I said, oh, he's playing with clay. Oh, he is? Yeah. So he said, tell him to give me a call. So I called him at Our Lady Queen of Heaven. And he said, come have lunch with me. I want to talk to you. So we went over there. I went over there and had lunch with him. And he said, let's go over here and I want to show you where I want this sculpture. Man, ooh, talk about a low blow. Wow. We're going to talk about where a sculpture is going to be. So he walks up there, and we walk up to a place on the ground, and had a 6-foot slab, 6 foot this way, 6 foot this way. He said, this is where it's going to be. I said, what is it going to be? The family. What family? Well, we're not calling it the Holy Family, but this is the one you're going to be sculpting. Gulp. And I said, what size? Life size. Wow, it's going to be this, by this, by this. Ooh. He said, Coach, you can do that, can't you? I said, sure. Couldn't do it, never done it in my life. I like the fact that I was able to make a living with my art, and my parents didn't think I would ever make a living with my art. That's why they wanted me to be farmers. So I told this story to a lot of people. My dad wanted to be a farmer, and he says, when I told him I was going to take an art course and finish it and be an artist, and he said, you'll start being an artist, son, you got to be a farmer. So a little bit later on, I saw him on his knees one day, and he said, I said, Dad, what are you doing? He said, I'm praying for rain right now. I said, Dad, if you'd have been an artist, you wouldn't be on your knees praying for rain. Of course, that was after I was successful, you know, I told him that. But he, you know, he would never tell anybody, here's my son, the artist, until I made a name for myself, because he was afraid that I would go backwards and not make a living at it. You know, people like that are strange. They just have a goal in life. That's the only way you can make a living. But people make a living in different ways, and I knew I could make a living. I was very confident that I could do it, and I married somebody that backed me up all the way. Pat did. So it wasn't, I wasn't alone, you know, but because she was right there doing the necessary things that an artist needs to be done. Write letters, answer this, answer that, whatever. Answer the phone, take the orders, all parts of it.
What do you plan on doing after retirement? Do you have anything?
Cut grass. I've got 15 acres over there. Well, my home in Gillis. Yeah. No, I'm just joking. I really will be painting to fill the walls of that house we just bought. And my kids, those, I owe them a painting right now, and then I know I got to paint this one. Their child, who's about 6 or 7 years old now. So I don't like to paint them when they're that small. I tell them, when they get to be 16 or 18 years old, I might do them. So now I've got a bunch of 16 to 18 years old I got to be painting. So I'll be busy doing a lot of that work.